Hi, everybody. My name's Jason Moseley, and I'm the CEO of IBIS. And welcome to another installment of Partners in the Spotlight. Today's session, I'm delighted to have with us a company who's leading the way in terms of technology in our sector. We've got Mitchell. And with us today, we have Debbie Day and Olivier Baudoux. Welcome both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So first of all, so we can set the scene for everybody, I'll come to you first, Debbie, and then come to you, Olivier. Just tell me a little bit about your roles in Mitchell, what you do, what you're responsible for.
Yes, absolutely. So Mitchell is based here in Southern California, in San Diego. It's a large company. One of the heritage divisions of Mitchell is the Auto Physical Damage Division, which is a 75-year-old division. My responsibility is for the division, and that means for all the people that work in the division, and we're a software company that does auto physical damage claims and repair.
Okay, thanks, Debbie. And over to you, Olivier.
Good morning, Jason. Good morning, everyone. My name is Olivier Baudoux. I'm responsible for the product strategy, the marketing organization, and the artificial intelligence group at Mitchell. That includes all of the work related to claims automation, a topic I'm sure we'll be talking about. Super excited to be here. And if you're wondering where my accent is from, well, I'll tell you, a third of me is from France, where I grew up, another third from America, where I spent the last 20 years, and then the last third is where my heart belongs, with my wife being from Canada.
Okay, great. Thanks, Olivier. So look, both, we know, Mitchell is synonymous. It has a long history with, as you say, Debbie, collision repair, motor claims. But I think you'd probably agree that we've never seen a year quite like this one. What have been the challenges, and also what have been the opportunities that have come about for a company like Mitchell in the last few months?
Thank you for that question. Who would have thought that we are going to be doing this IBIS session virtually? We also have our conference next month, and again, it will be virtual. So let me just back up for a second and tell you that Mitchell was founded in 1946 by Glenn Mitchell, who started writing down in his garage how to repair vehicles. And so since that time, Mitchell created books. And I've been thinking about time a lot lately, since March, when my last business trip was to Canada. And we have many customers up there. And I don't think any of us really understood the gravity of what was going to happen. I certainly didn't. And I remember coming through Calgary and then through LAX and thinking, what is happening here? This is a very odd a vibe of what people, and some people were wearing masks, but I remember thinking, boy, everyone really wants to get home. And within a week, and Olivier and I were both scheduled to go to India to do some of our technology engineering integration work, which we did not, that never happened, of course. So back to where we are now. Within a week, we had 100% of auto physical damage employees working from home. And so we put our business continuity plans to work. And I'm, really proud of how the team came together because, we went immediately, the claim volume sunk both in the United States and Canada in the first week in April. And we're still about 20% down in the States on claim volume, estimate volume, total loss volume. But in another way, I cannot believe the progress that I've seen in the last 6 months with the technology, things like virtual claims automation, and we're going to talk a lot about that. But virtual estimating, where people were thinking, oh, that can't happen, it's happening. We put 30 companies up on virtual estimating within a couple of weeks. And so there's been a lot of opportunity and for innovation because people can do it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's a nice segue to come to you then, Olivier. You know, Debbie mentioned the technology there, and you talked about in your role the whole idea of AI. Never has there been a more reason for touchless claims. So this must be an exciting time for you in the technology area.
Yeah, absolutely. And in so many ways, while we indeed had no ideas that the pandemic would strike, we had been working over the last 4 years on bringing the right set of technologies and solutions to adapt to this new digital and more consumer-friendly experience. And I don't think our solution could not come at a better time. Our move to the cloud in particular and the benefits it carries to be able to write an estimate from anywhere, anytime, is a good example of that. Distancing becomes so much more possible and realistic when you can appraise a vehicle from anywhere. But to answer your question on really what it took to step up here to the challenge, I think a lot of listening to our customers, adjusting our priorities and our roadmap in order to accommodate this challenging situation. In particular, we had to double down on the cloud in 2020. We have migrated all of our U.S. customers in 2020 from our legacy application, Ultramate, to our latest Mutual Cloud estimating. And next year, we'll complete this migration entirely throughout North America, in Canada in particular. And cloud not only provides more flexibility and efficiency, but it served as a foundation for all of the work around claims automation and this new claim experience that we're creating. Consumers can simply snap a few photos from their own models, and almost instantly those photos are uploaded over to the cloud, becomes available, where appraisers and adjusters can fast track the claim process. Another important area we continue to focus on is around bringing more dynamic and contextual information on how to appraise and repair complex vehicles. And we know how more and more complex they become. Our team of internal experts and dedicated group of editorial have been very engaged, working side by side with automakers and bring all of that information into our database to rapidly surface the proper parts, the right repair procedures, and any relevant characteristic of the vehicle, in particular ADAS feature, like lane departure, the importance of recalibration, or even help consumers to drive them to the right location with the right technicians, certified technicians, and the right equipment in place. So that's a lot of what we've been working on, and we're really trying to step up to the challenge here and bring the best we can to our customers.
Yeah. Thanks, Olivier.
You know, Jason,
yeah.
I was just going to say, do you remember last year at IBIS, Olivier makes a very interesting point, because you took questions after the professor from Columbia spoke around machine learning. Do you remember? Yes, taking those questions?
Yeah.
And the number one question that was addressed was, is it going to ever be possible to automate all of this complexity and write an estimate? Do you remember that?
Yeah,
and
I do.
What Olivier just described is, and his answer was yes, you need to train the machines with all this information. And what Olivier just took us through is all the information that needs to be synthesized in order to have the machines aid humans. It's a very,
absolutely.
very complex task.
Yeah. So my next question, Debbie, for you is really about partnerships and industry partnerships. I know we were speaking the other day to some of our colleagues, and I know close colleagues of yours at General Motors. And I know, taking them as an example, I know they've recently leaned on you probably more than ever as a technology business to help them in this whole new world, whether it be AI, machine learning, remote estimating, but also bringing things like repair procedures under one umbrella. So you are really probably more valuable now than ever in terms of what you can provide. So how have you been working with partners is really my question.
Oh, love that. What a great question. Thank you for that. And I know there are a lot of great partners on the IBIS board, and I talk to them all the time. This pandemic shows you the importance of partnerships. We suspected this 4 years ago, but I definitely remember this light bulb going on that said, the industry is facing so many challenges, there's no way one company can address it all. And so we have a very declared strategy around partnering well. And it's something that's very intentional and that we talk about and implement every day. And GM is such a great example. We're very strong partners. So let me tell you a little bit about that. Although they're the largest automaker in the US, they never had a certified network. And with the complexity of vehicles, notably the Corvette C8, which just came out, which is an unbelievable vehicle, by the way, they needed to ensure that their vehicles were going to be repaired properly and safely. And in order to do that, you need to, one, understand what the capabilities of the repairer are, what the parts are, and how to repair the vehicles. And that's very complex, and every automaker is different. And so we have some intellectual property and patents pending in this area because we did something that's never been done, which is putting the repair procedure for that vehicle based on VIN right at the fingertips as the person is writing the estimate and then writing the repair plan. Then the technician can access those repair procedures. We actually show that they've been accessed, have a record of it, and report on it. And doing all this work with General Motors was fascinating. And we couldn't have done it without that 75-year heritage of Mitchell writing its repair procedures like Glenn Mitchell started in 1946. And so our editors worked with GM, and now we have many automakers. We just did an announcement around Hyundai this month because this repair procedure topic is so critical. No longer can any repair facility repair any vehicle. It really is vehicle by vehicle specificity. And that complexity is just going to get more and more important because the safety systems have got to be reset, calibrated, diagnosed, et cetera. So it's getting more complex, not less so. But the value of partnerships, I could go on and on about that topic because we have many, many important topics and partners because that's what it takes.
Yeah, and maybe let me add a little bit just into that because I mean we found new partners and everything that they can bring on an ongoing basis. It's part of our strategy is to bring the greatest minds and the greatest companies. I think good example of that is part of the work that we've been doing with Google around machine learning and leveraging the cloud infrastructure. Or Bosch to help us on diagnostic scanning systems, or even Qualcomm will be releasing later this year newer technologies, and Qualcomm has been an amazing partner helping us to go into augmented reality and helping shops have a lot of that information readily available right in their glasses. So we're super excited to go and bring a lot of those partners to the claims automation and helping the industry.
Yeah, great. Another question. This is to either of you, because the Mitchell system, everything you said, Derby. It's got so many technological elements. It's got all the elements you need to make this safe and proper, robust repair. And because of that, do you think it's helped take the frictional relationships out of? Traditionally, insurers and repairers have always argued over repair costs. Well, if we start with the right repair method, surely that helps take the friction out of that, because there is only one correct way to repair it. What would be your comment on that?
I agree, because everybody can agree on safety. This is a non-negotiable topic. Everybody has families, and everyone wants their family to get into a vehicle that's safe at the end. And if you've got a backup camera, and most people don't even know that these are not cars, these are computers on wheels. And, a windshield might have a camera in it. And so if that isn't, or a mirror, you don't just pop on a mirror anymore. You've got to make sure that you're not going to go into a mailbox or something much, much worse. So that's where I think the conversation is now. And bringing and working together with the automakers is absolutely critical, because they understand the repair of the vehicle. They manufactured it, and our role is to ensure that valuable information gets into the hands of the users. So, it's really just it's like giving somebody a test and then never giving them the book to be able to study. It's just an impossible task. That's our role, is to help people safely repair vehicles. That's what our mission is.
Absolutely. So, Olivier, one question for you. Talk a lot about this, great technology that's going to help us, touchless claims, improve the process. But historically, let's be honest, the body repair sector hasn't been the best in being able to cope with adopting new technology. What cultural barriers have you faced, particularly in repair shops, when you're bringing this technology there? How quickly are they picking it up? How are you having to help them to understand how this can help them?
Yeah, it's interesting. So, and I think that's one of the biggest challenge that the industry and business leaders have been facing during COVID, right? Because the pace of change is really dramatically different from what it has always been. As technology leaders, we're always excited and impatient to roll out new technology and greater products. But the reality is, as business owners, business leaders, there's much more risk aversion and the concern of disrupting business processes. And I think to some extent, what COVID has helped with is to take more risk, reduce change the risk tolerance, and allow those business leaders to trust and at least give a try to the newer technologies. And I think you may argue the technology was ready, and just leveraging what was already existent and taking some extra risk has been some of the benefits of what COVID has brought. So I really think whether they're shop owners or business leaders, there's a lot of benefits of leveraging some of that greater technologies. I mean, the cloud being, I guess, the best example of something that we've been working for years and years, claims automation, virtual estimating, automated estimating, a lot of those newer technologies that obviously are always worrisome and create some fears. I think what a great time now to bring the best we can to create more ability to respond to the challenge.
Yeah, what a brilliant thing to sort of summarize this conversation. That's great. So just one final couple of final quick questions for you. So the next 6 months, Debbie, where's Mitchell what's Mitchell focused on? You've got all this technology. Is it more about putting additional new innovations, or is it about taking what you have now and making sure that's rolled out correctly and everybody's getting the full benefit from that? What's your sort of next 6 months priorities?
Yeah, that's awesome. And you actually hit upon it when you asked about partners. Another key piece of our strategy is that it's an open platform. And so what I see us doing over the next 6 months is adding partners to our open platform. So, for example, Olivier mentioned Google. There are many other computer vision, machine learning companies that we will be plugging into our open platform. So it's implementation, it's working well with others, and it's this 1 + 1 = 3 kind of combination. That's where I see us going. Because people are ready, and we've been building, and now it's going to be the fun piece where we get to implement and work with new partners. I think it's going to be a fascinating time. I hope in the next 6 months we all get to see each other in person again. That's my personal hope. Also, we're getting really good at working virtually, but it's not the same.
Yeah, it's time to see each other. So that's a nice segue into my last question, which is about partnerships. Mitchell and IBIS, we go back quite a way, but particularly over the last couple of years, we've got closer together. We've done more together. Mitchell's been a key part of driving, thought leadership in the sector. Why do you value the relationship with IBIS so much?
Yeah, I'll take a start at that. I'd like Olivier to also add. For me, I am very interested in IBIS because the world is shrinking. There is no longer this, U.S., Canada, North America, Europe. There's global insurance companies. There's, MSOs. There are big companies that operate globally. I think that is what is happening. The problems are more common than different. And IBIS represents a thought leadership around the world. And there's no other organization like that. And so we value this partnership. We also have a partner company, GT Motive, as you well know, Jason, in Madrid, who also, we share common technology, and we can see that the problems are the same. So we're interested in, solving complex problems universally. Olivier, would you add? I mean, you're French, so what do you think?
So obviously, as an international leader, having spent half of my life in Europe and half here, I echo all of that. A lot of what we see and we're working on from virtual estimating or photo-based estimating, building appraisal of photos, and leveraging all of the greatness of computer vision, artificial intelligence. All of that is happening at a worldwide level. And as a matter of fact, we're building a global solutions, both in North America, but also working very closely with our sister company, GT Motive, in order to have a similar set of solutions. We're super excited about our most recent Mitchell intelligent estimating, which really the concept of that estimate being written by the machine, powered by an AI engine that is global. We are using it and already getting great feedback from top European carriers as well that love what the intelligent estimating brings to the claim automation. Super excited and really looking at it as a worldwide opportunities that is absolutely relevant for the insurance market, for the network of shops. And I think a lot of those trends are really resonating right now, and everyone is thinking and working hard at getting there.
Yeah, great. Listen, Debbie, Olivier, that sort of brings us to the end of this session. It's been really fantastic to speak to you today, to talk to you, to hear about your views on the sector and some of the stuff that Mitchell is doing. So thanks so much for that.
Thank you,
Thank you so
Jason.
much.
Thank you, family IBIS.
And I look forward to seeing you again, hopefully face-to-face in the not-too-distant future.
Amen.
So thanks, everybody. Listen, I hope everybody's enjoyed this session today, this Partner in the Spotlight session. You can watch this video again if you go to ibisworldwide.com, and you can also see the other sessions within the Partners in the Spotlight portfolio. But that's it for today. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.